My name is Julie Sweet. I am a clinical research coordinator. A clinical research coordinator is the person on the study staff that the patient probably will see the most during being in a clinical trial. We are involved from the point of helping our PI decide if a clinical trial is a right fit for our patient population in general. And then once a patient decides to be in the trial, we're the one who's running the study visits, scheduling them, doing most of the procedures that we do here. And if there's any safety concerns that come up, we make sure that the PI and the sponsor know about that quickly. So the consent form is a legal document, so we sign it at the end. And it can often be pretty long. It can be up to 20 pages long, but it's meant to inform a patient about everything they need to know about the clinical trial. We try to make sure that a patient knows everything they need to know and has a chance to ask all the questions that they want to ask, so that when they make the decision, they are well informed. A research protocol is really just a very, very detailed plan for how the clinical trial is going to try to answer whatever the research question is. It's detailed down to the point of having guidelines for who can be in the trial, like what health factors might be allowed and not allowed in the trial, the timeline for the visits, what's going to be done for study procedures and tests to help collect the data that they need to answer that question, how safety events are going to be reported, and how the data is going to be analyzed at the end. The clinical trials kind of build on each other. Phase 1 is usually the first time the study drug is used in a person or a device is used in a person. And then the first time it's used in a person who has the condition that is meant to treat. Anytime a patient comes in, you're asking them to report back what changes they've had in their health. Then you go up to phase 2. Those get a little bit longer, a few more people, and you're trying to kind of see how tolerable that drug or device is for a longer period of time. So then there's phase 3, which is the phase right before we submit to the FDA for approval, and that one is usually a larger group of people, up to 100 or more, and a longer period of time too. Well, the PI, of course, that's the study doctor, and usually they'll pick a few other doctors that they work with to be sub-investigators, so they may see those as at visits where the PI can't be there. There's the research coordinator, and the research coordinator can also be a nurse, so that would be the study nurse. And then there's other medical professionals that might work with the PI, so you might have a radiologist, a pharmacist, or a respiratory therapist as well. I think the first thing I would say to somebody who's considering being in a trial or is about to do it is communication is just so important during it. From the start of the consent conversation, if you have a question and you think, well, maybe that's a stupid question, please ask us all the questions. And even after you've decided to be in the study, if you think, oh, I should have asked that question, come back and ask us again, because we want you to know whatever you need to know to be a part of the trial and to feel comfortable doing that. We want to make participating the easiest thing that you can do. And then also, you know, as we talked about safety, we want to know if you've had any changes in your medications, even if it's a supplement that you think that doesn't really matter, it might matter. So that's important. If you have a change in your health and you think, well, that might be related to something else, I'm not worried about it. We want to know about that too. For me personally, clinical research is about legacy. My dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's when he was 29 years old, and he was able to have a really full life because of those people and because of those trials and those treatments that were developed. So for me, being able to be a part of that for somebody else and see my patients be able to have fullness of life because of the treatments that they're taking, or because of the trials that they're able to be in, that's what it means for me.